So, in looking at the changes to the way that we're going to deliver the programme, extending the placements up to 6 months and including mandatory placement in geriatrics and critical care is going to reduce the exposure to other specialties that we experience doing that training. How are we going to be able to obtain experience in those other areas from next time on?
I think that over the 3 years, people will gain a lot of clinical experience. We focused on those areas because of the feedback that we got. The absolute centrality of getting medicine right for older people is in the current NHS is really important. So that's why we've had a particular focus on geriatric medicine, which of course covers the whole breadth of medicine. We received a lot of feedback from trainees in particular about the importance of improving intensive care and HDU experience. So again, we've focused on that. And there is a perennial discussion about whether 4 months or 6 months, and this debate about do you need to pass through multiple different specialties versus, well, you're also there to provide a service, and we learn by following people over time and getting a feeling as physicians of what their natural history is. So we think this is a better balance. I guess time will tell.
As a trainee, we know that different places deliver different standards of training. How will you ensure that all of the programmes provide the mandatory training elements?
So the issues that are mandatory in the curriculum, where it says they're mandatory, have got to be delivered. The delivery of training is very clearly the responsibility of the postgraduate deans, and the heads of school lead on that within each of the deaneries or the outposts of Health Education England. We support them because we work very closely with the heads of school to help them. We have produced the core medical training quality criteria 2 years ago. More recently, the General Internal Medicine Registrar quality criteria. We've also published the State of Physicianly Training. All these are tools to try and help the deaneries, the heads of school, actually ensure that the mandatory elements are delivered, they have to be delivered, but that the experience is as good as possible.
To achieve dual accreditation in internal medicine and a specialty, will all specialties have to contribute equally to the acute unscheduled care and the acute unscheduled take?
So we've ended up with 2 groups of specialties. The large majority who will dual train and those are the specialties who will be involved in acute frontline medicine either in acute unselected take or in their specialty when they become consultants and over the course of their career. There is obviously another group of specialties who will have very little contact with acute illness. And the view was eventually that those people didn't need as much training in acute medicine as the first group. So the second group will often select after 2 years of internal medicine into their specialty training. The curriculum will say the minimum amount of time that will need to be spent in higher training will be 1 more year. How that is delivered is often varies by deanery. So whether it's very intensive 1 year, whether it's spread out over a wider period of time, how much time tends to be determined as at deanery level because it is not mandated. We only mandate the minimum in the curriculum.
Do I have to do all 3 years of the internal medicine stage 1 training to be eligible for higher specialty training?
That there will be a group of specialties. Examples might be rehabilitation medicine or clinical genetics or space and aviation medicine, where you will only need to have done the first 2 years of internal medicine to be able to have a fair opportunity to apply and compete for those specialties.